this would be fine if the people who had the guns were responsible enough to have them, but not all of them are. This is because of our horrible laws regarding the purchase of guns. These laws have loopholes which make it very easy for people who have criminal backgrounds or mental illnesses to get guns. The Gun Control Act of 1968 states that anyone selling guns for business must have a federal firearms license and keep a record of their sales. This law, however, holds one of the most dangerous loopholes, the background check loophole, and it has yet to be fixed. Private party sellers do not have to perform background checks or even record who they sell to, because they technically are selling for personal profit, not business. Most private party sellers sell through gun shows, which are markets for guns and ammunition. Criminals come to these shows because they know they can get a gun without having a background check or even have their sale be recorded. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms estimates that 2,500 to 5,000 gun shows are held annually, and 25 to 50% of the sellers are unlicensed. These statistics show us that it makes it very easy for an unfit person to buy a gun within minutes. We are lucky because we are one of the only 6 states that has completely closed this loophole. However, that does not mean we can stop fighting. We must fight for the other 44 states and help them get the correct laws they need to be safe from private party sellers. On October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock killed 59 concertgoers and injured 422 in the Las Vegas shooting. 24 guns were found in his hotel room, 12 of which had buntfire stocks attached to them. These buntfire stocks make semi-automatic rifles have the same effect as an automatic one by using the recoil to enable the shooter to pull the trigger faster. The creator, Jeremiah Cottle, originally made this attachment because he was bored of his semi-automatic rifle, which was too slow, but couldn't afford to buy an automatic. So why isn't it illegal? Because it attaches to the exterior of the gun and has no mechanical parts. Jeremiah Cottle originally created buntfire stocks 2 decades ago and sold $10 million worth of them in the first year. Because they only cost $100, this means he sold 100,000 buntfire stocks in just the first year. Now there are at least 100,000 semi-automatic guns that are shooting as fast as an automatic rifle. This should be extremely illegal. However, most lawmakers didn't even know what a buntfire stock was until they found them on Stephen Paddock's weapons. We have to show our lawmakers that this attachment can be just as dangerous as an automatic weapon. In 2016, over 4,000 guns were sold to people who were unfit to have them because of the Charleston loophole, also known as the 3-day background check loophole. This loophole allows anyone to get a gun if the FBI fails to complete a background check within 3 days. The FBI is usually quick to complete a background check, but if something comes up that is more important, the buyer will automatically be able to buy their gun. This means that people who have criminal backgrounds or are mentally ill are able to wait just 3 days to buy a gun. This is how Dylan Roof was able to buy his gun in 2015 and killed 9 churchgoers in Charleston. The Charleston loophole isn't actually an accident. It's written in detail in the federal law and on the FBI's website. However, it somehow is still allowing people who are unfit to have a gun to purchase one. On March 5th of this year, our governor, Kate Brown, signed legislation to close the boyfriend loophole in Oregon. This loophole still exists in 26 other states, where many domestic abusers are still allowed to buy guns. The domestic violence offender gun ban should prohibit any abuser from purchasing a gun. However, because of outdated language, it only prohibits the ones who are married to the person they abuse. In other words, a woman or man must be married to their abuser, or else they can still get their hands on a gun. A recent study shows that almost half of the intimate partner homicides are committed by dating partners, and the proportion of homicides committed by a girlfriend or boyfriend has been increasing since the 1980s. This loophole has been in great need for closing for decades, and we are lucky enough to have been freed from this loophole. However, we are not yet finished with the fight to better gun legislation in the entire U.S. Our lawmakers are constantly putting our lives at risk with these loopholes, and it's up to us to fight for better gun legislation and fix what past generations would not.